time, 10:45.
This is The Right to Happiness, brought to you by CBS Radio. Early evening, and Lee comes downstairs, suitcase in hand, to see Carolyn on the phone talking to Grace Driscoll.
Yes. Yes, I understand that, Grace. Oh, I'm just as sorry as you are. Every bit as concerned. As much as see as you are, too. Well, I'm thankful for that much, at least. Yes. Oh, thank you for calling, Grace. Goodbye.
Well, don't tell me she and Skip have had another lover's quarrel, Carolyn.
No, she's worried about Mrs. Braden. She visited Dick at the prison this afternoon and rode back on the bus with Mrs. Braden, and she told...
No, hold it. You've enough to do without fretting about that family.
I'm not fretting, dear. I just can't help worrying. Grace said that
tell me what Grace said on the way to the airport, huh? I'd like to get started.
Oh, yes, we should.
I'll give you my undivided attention, though I still wish... Well, that you'd hop on the plane and come to Chicago with me.
Lee, there's no reason for you to have the Bradens on your mind.
I haven't, my love.
I want you to concentrate on your work in Chicago and come home as soon as you can.
Check and double check. Still, I am curious. Why did Grace call you?
Well, she had a nice visit with Dick today. He was pleased because there's a recreation room at the prison. There's a piano in it, and he'll be allowed to use it.
Oh, sure. A boy like Dick should have a fairly free run of the place.
Grace said he had a good talk with the warden.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, it was her talk with Mrs. Braden on the bus that worried her. Mrs. Braden didn't go home. She hasn't gone home yet.
Oh, not since Mr. Braden let his son down so badly in court.
She was quite vehement about it with Grace.
Oh, how so?
She said she was straightening something out. And then she'd do something.
Such as what?
Well, that's all. Grace got off after a few more blocks. Mrs. Braden was still on the bus, way beyond her own stop.
Oh, Carolyn, you mailed Braden our statement for services rendered, didn't you?
Yes, I did last night, along with the message from Dick, that he'd pay his father back when he's free.
Yes, well, fair enough, then. That closes the file. As far as they're concerned, until such time as Dick comes up for parole, we're leaving well enough alone.
Later this evening, in the Braden home, Kitty Braden glances at her father as he reads the paper in the living room, and...
That sounds pretty good, doesn't it, Papa?
You got the radio on, Kitty?
No, it's a record.
Sounds like junk to me.
I like it very much. I remember the night we made this record, right here in our living room.
You made it here?
Tom White had a recording machine, so Dick sat down at the piano and they made the record.
Blasted pounding with no tune to it. Turn it off, Kitty.
But I like it. It does something to me.
Me too.
Don't you feel Dick is close by, almost here with us?
I'm telling you, turn that thing off.
Oh, all right. There. You don't have to get so mad at me.
Now, give me that record.
I won't either.
Kitty?
Papa, you stop being so bossy. Please take me to the movie. There's a neat show at the Meridian. We can have a swell time and maybe... Well, maybe Mother will be home when we get back.
The record, Kitty?
You know, I have the strangest feeling that Mother will come.
All right. I'll get it myself.
I don't understand why you have to be like this.
Tinkling sounds. If your brother had an ounce of sense in his head...
Don't break it or don't!
Now, you go get any more of these records hidden around here. I never want to hear that junk of your brother's again. And for good measure...
Papa! You're mean.
Now, Kitty.
Mean. Oh, wait. Mama?
Anne.
Oh, Mama, I'm so glad you're home.
Hello, Kitty, sweetheart.
We missed you and wondered about you.
Are you all right, Kitty?
Yes, but you didn't tell me where you were or anything when you called.
I know.
I thought that maybe you were sick.
No, I'm perfectly fine, dear, and I'm glad you are, too.
Good evening, Victor.
Where have you been keeping yourself, Anne? What got into you?
Why bother to explain?
You got no right to upset me and Kitty this way.
I'm sorry. I told Kitty not to worry.
Yeah. And you hung up the minute I got to the phone.
So I did.
Anyways, you're back now.
Not for long, Victor. I thought I'd come back to stay. I'd made up my mind to overlook your cruel, inhuman treatment of our son. I thought you might change, and I could forgive. And then, as I came up the walk, I heard the piano.
You heard, Mama?
And for a minute, I thought my boy was home again. And then I heard the rest of it.
It was an accident, Mama. I was going to explain.
Kitty, darling, I want you to leave us alone for a few minutes.
I won't either.
You may go up to your room or run across the street and see if Mary's home. And don't stay long, sweetheart. I really haven't much to say.
I'm not going. You're my parents. I'm your daughter. I don't want you and Papa to quarrel.
Kitty, there's not going to be a quarrel.
Well, then why should I go?
All right. You needn't. Come upstairs with me instead. You can help me pack.
Why do you have to pack?
Kitty, I think you know. I'm sure your father knows. Truly, there's nothing more to say.
We go camping at least twice a year on weekends.
Well, what kind of food do you take?
Canned food and soups, because once we were caught with pickles and peanut butter and tea.
Oh, dandy. Excuse me, this is Fran Carlin, and I'd like you to meet Mrs. Ada Hayes from Seattle. She's been telling me about her camping trips and how handy New Sheer Mum is.
We like it because it's easy to carry and it's easy to use and it lasts a long time while camping. I have one in my traveling case and my husband has one in the first aid kit.
When you put it on, how long does New Sheer Mum last?
Well, it has lasted 3 days with camping sometimes, and we couldn't get to a shower. And both of us have very sensitive skin, and it does not smart.
Yes, Mum is safe for normal skin.
For the others, it seems we have to take it off every night, or we have trouble in sleeping.
Well, New Sheer Mum lets your skin breathe. You know, everybody's skin must breathe in its own special way as it lets out natural vapors and fluids. That's why Mum feels so good.
I'm glad to know it.
Thank you, Mrs. Hayes. And ladies, try new Mum, the sheer cream deodorant.
Be sure to listen at this same time every weekday, Monday through Friday, to The Right to Happiness. Included in the cast are Les Damon, Vicki Vola, Phil Meader, Lee Graham, Daniel Ocko, and Lynn Loring. The Right to Happiness stars Claudia Morgan. Here's great news for music lovers. The New York Philharmonic and its dynamic conductor, Leonard Bernstein, will be back on the air beginning October 1st on most of these CBS radio stations. This will be the Philharmonic's 31st consecutive season on CBS radio. Look forward with us to many exciting musical treats. Remember the Philharmonic starting date, October 1st, on most of these stations. The Kingston Trio next, then the latest CBS News and today's chapter of Whispering Streets on CBS Radio.